We will now talk about personality traits. Do you have anything you want to change this year?
Well, I try not to set, you guys know me, I try not to set New Year's resolutions,
Yeah.
but there's this habit of mine, and I've always used to do this, and I continue to do it to this day, is I just leave things to the last minute. And back in school, I used to cram for exams. I never studied when I was supposed to over time, but I would just study the week before. So that's something I would like. I guess we call it time management. I would like to manage my time better. How about you?
I think we have the same quite problem. I mean, frankly speaking, I'm kind of a procrastinator person.
Really?
So I think I try to manage my time and to put my priority in the beginning, but it feels like a huge blocks and less energy to do it until
The deadline.
Yeah, the
So
deadline.
there's some pressure on you,
Yeah,
right?
and I have some adrenaline rush to do it and make more excitement to do in a certain tiny time.
I can relate.
Me too. Honestly, I'm like that. Well,
Yeah, I think it's time to talk about the type of, like I have said before, procrastinator or procrastination is a habit of delaying important tasks, usually by focusing on less urgent, more enjoyable, and easier activities instead. It is different from laziness, which is the unwillingness to act.
the word originated from the Latin words pro and crastinus, with pro meaning forward and crastinus, which means until next day. Well, I certainly cannot wait to learn more about procrastination, personality, because I think
It seems to be a personality trait,
yes,
right? Because I can't be the only one. You're like that too. All three of
I'm
you, right?
like that
Exactly.
too.
Right.
I still have a denial side for this. Is it a personality trait, or it's just given that we need to manage it a little bit well? I don't know.
I've reached the stage of acceptance, so I admit it. So now we have invited an expert to discuss more on this. So let's just say hello to Efnie Indriani. Hi, Efnie.
Hello.
Hello, good to see you again,
Hi,
Efnie.
everyone.
Hi.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
First of all, could you please explain to us about procrastination personality?
Yeah, procrastination personality is the term that can be used to describe someone's behaviors who always delay their action or decision. So they don't do everything immediately. They will delay everything or postpone it everything.
Okay, so this is strange to me, Efnie, because I thought I just have bad habits. I didn't know that this was actually a personality trait. So correct me if I'm wrong. If it's a personality trait, that means I'm born like this. It wasn't something that was created over time, correct?
Yeah. Sometimes when we talk more about the personality, we should to know there are two ways that can contribute to our personality. 30% is about genetic factors. And when we talk more about procrastination personality, sometimes the people are born with the procrastination attitude at the first. And then the 70% is the influence of the environment. So based on the experience, everything, the parenting process, or they learn many things from the environment, they will procrastinate everything in their daily life. And yeah, we should know about why the people become procrastinate, because it's not always negative side, but sometimes we can talk there is a positive side also from the procrastinations.
Oh, great to hear that. There's a positive side of, with the procrastination personality. So, Avni, you've said just now that about there 70% of the procrastination behavior or personality because of the environment. Because the nurture of us during we grew up, for example. So please elaborate for that.
Yeah, okay. For someone who have a tendency to become more anxious for everything, at the first, why they'll face the new things or the new assignment, they feel so anxious at the first. So they always try to overcome the anxious at the first, and then they try to make a plan, and then near to the deadline, they will finishing everything. Yeah, and based on another experience also, sometimes the people learn more everything about how to make a plan. Sometimes they try to make a correct way or in a perfect way. So they try to postpone or delay the assignment because they try to make a perfect plan every day. And another things based on the experience also, and or from the influence of the environment, people become had a procrastination personality because they tend to hedonistic personality also. They always try to prioritizing one thing at the first and try to delay the task or the assignment because just try to do the joy thing, and then they will do everything near to the deadline, and they do everything in a rush and feel so uncomfortable with that. So based on environments, experience, or any kind of stimulation in our daily life, yeah, there are so many factors that can influence someone to become a procrastination personality.
I see. You mentioned earlier that there is the good side in procrastination personality. Can we talk more about that? Because we would like to know.
Yeah, yeah. The positive side from procrastination personality that people can manage everything very well at the first, make a good plan at the first, so they can prevent everything that's in the negative side from their decisions. That is a good thing from the procrastination. But the people become procrastinators not because of the positive side at most. Most of based on the study, most of the people become procrastinators because they just delay or postpone the assignment because of anxiety. Only that. Just a little people because of the positive thing from the procrastination.
Okay, so I was going to use some of those positives as an excuse why I procrastinate. So, Efnie, you're an expert when it comes to children as well. One of our biggest worries as parents is that we don't want our children to procrastinate. You know, when it comes to homework or assignments, and as kids get older, school gets more difficult. They get a heavier workload. So, how do we recognize early signs of procrastination in little ones? Because little kids sometimes don't listen anyway when you tell them something, but what are the signs that they're just being kids, or what are the signs that show that they're being procrastinators or potential procrastinators?
Okay, nice. It's easy for us to observe the kids who tend to have a procrastination personality. If the parent asks the kids to do everything or to do the responsibility, there are so many reasons from the kids.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, mama, I want to do this, I want to do that. And they just prioritizing the joyful thing at the first,
Of
so
course.
they don't do
My
the
son.
responsibility.
God, my
It's
son
like
is
that.
Right. Yeah,
Oh,
we should to
no.
be careful, should to be aware as a parent if we face our kids show that the behaviors in daily life.
Okay, so is that something we need to worry about now? Because, you know, like you've heard the reaction in the studio. All of our kids do those kind of things. So should we do something about it now, or is this just something for us to look out for them to make sure that the behavior doesn't continue later on in life?
Yeah, it's the simple way that can we use to prevent the procrastination personality since someone become a kid. At the first, we try to help them to manage their plan every day. Don't give so many activities to a kids in daily life. They need a lot of rest. They need to keep their mind become peaceful, and they need to do everything very well. Don't push them to do everything in a rush or have a lot of activities with so many targets. Because based on study also, the researcher found that they become procrastinators because of many things or a lot of things needs to do, need to reach. And sometimes the parent always say to the kids that you must be successful in life. You must do everything in perfect way. So we should to prevent it. Just do the natural way because kid need everything in a balanced way between learning and playing also.
Good
So
point.
try to keep the balancing of daily activity on the
All right.
kids.
Good advice.
Right. So talking about the kids, let's take a study case because I had my own experience when I went back to campus and I had to do a lot of essays with the deadlines. And I felt at the time so a procrastinator. It's so torturing for me at the time. And I don't want to the same thing happen to my children. So in terms of case study of doing assignment from the school, how we should make a plan, or make our kids not being a procrastinators by doing their assignments from the school.
Yeah, we can help our children to solve everything at the first because based on the brain development, children still cannot solve their problem alone. So for the first, try to accompany our kids when they need to do everything related to the school assignment at the first. And then the second thing, we should to remember that don't push our kid to do everything in a perfect way because nobody's perfect in life. They try to do their best from everything or related to the assignment, but not in a perfect way. And the third thing, the parents should to remember, don't push your kid to get the 100 numbers or score at school. Yeah.
Okay.
If not, they just, oh my God, oh mom, I just get score 50. No problem. You can learn from this thing. That's okay. People can learn from their fail in life. So if we remember that the kids can do everything in a happy way, and most of the studies found that happy kids will not be become as a procrastinator in the end. So make our kids happy. Not just a
that's
kid,
the
for
key.
our adult also. We should to be happy to do everything. So we don't become as a procrastinators.
Yeah, when it comes to like getting perfect scores, I think that's for us parents.
Yes.
Right.
The kids don't really
Exactly.
care, right?
Yeah.
It's usually us that gives it. So it's a very good point.
But I try to learn to appreciate the process rather than the result. So,
Good.
all right, that's enough about the kids. But what about
What are us?
ourselves? We are
Procrastinator.
so hard to pronounce. And if I'm not mistaken, you said earlier that the root cause of procrastination personality is because we are anxious, right? So
Yes, that's it.
what to do then? Should we deal with the feeling
Anxiety.
of anxious, or what do we do to be better, to be more, punctual in time management?
Yeah. Most of the people become anxious because they have a perfectionist personality.
Right.
So, yeah, we should to remember that we cannot do everything in the perfect way, but we just try to do everything in our best way, only that. And after we know the type of our personality that we perfectionist or not, we should to remember try to make a positive mindset in the futures because sometimes not just because of the perfectionist, some of researchers found that people in adult become a procrastinators because of they have a tend to pessimistic to see everything. That's why they try to postpone their assignment or the decisions because they not really sure with the ability or the capacity to solve it. So just do it and try to relaxing our mind before we try to do everything because everything comes from mind. We change our mind, we will change everything in our life.
Right. So do you have any tips, Efnie, for someone who, say, wants to not be a procrastinator anymore? They want to stop this particular way of doing things. Are there any kind of like little things that we can implement in our lives to help us break out of this habit of procrastinating when it comes to our daily tasks? Just simple stuff.
Yeah. We should to know it's not easy someone to overcome the procrastination behaviors. We should remember that.
Okay. Yeah.
But we can do the simple way. At the first, make a simple target or easy target in our daily life. Because based on the brain research, part of our brain, we call it brainstem. Brainstem always interpret the new things or the great way become as a trait. So that's why sometimes people make resolutions or a perfect plan. They cannot do that or cannot reach the resolution or the plan. So just make everything in a simple way. Try to make a simple thing, the simple thing that can we do, but our mental still feel that we will be able to do that.
Yes.
That's more better for us
Yeah.
than the great way.
Yeah, somebody told me that as well, that if you set goals that are more achievable, but set more of them, and when you achieve those goals, you feel better about yourself,
Yep.
and then you're likely to repeat those good habits instead of, going back to the bad habits that you had before. Now, also, we're here are curious to know, Efnie, does procrastination have anything to do with the potential for somebody to be successful? For example, if someone's a procrastinator or a very bad procrastinator, does that mean that he or she cannot be successful in life?
Yes, of course. It's not easy for someone who become a procrastinator to reach their successful in life. Why? Because a procrastinator just busy with their theater of mind.
Okay.
They spend 75% the mental energy just to think everything on the mind, but no action they do in daily. That we should be careful about it.
Okay, sounds very tiring. Efnie, thank you so much for joining us here on this afternoon, and glad we didn't put this conversation off.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for joining us. It's great talking to you again. All right, we'll talk to you again soon. So, anything you got from that conversation in regards to your procrastination,
I try to
guys?
conquer my perfectionism, unconscious perfectionism mind, because maybe I do agree with that. I can see from my son, who's right now tend to be procrastinator rather than his sister, because he's tend to perfectionist.
Okay, so it is correlated somehow. I'm a bit of a perfectionist myself, so I'll share a little thing that I do so I avoid procrastinating. All of us have agendas on our phones, the digital agendas.
Yeah.
I put the task that I'm likely to procrastinate on a target date when I have to have it finished, which is not in a close date to when the actual deadline.
Right.
So for example, something's due on Friday, I'll put it on a Wednesday or Thursday schedule, and I'll make sure that I put the time slot, and that has to be done by then. It's easy to move the schedule, which is what I used to do, but I try to complete it now. For example, clean the fish tank. Sounds mundane, I'll just put it off, but I'll end up putting off for weeks and weeks. So this way, I'll just get it done, I'll get it over with, and I feel great afterwards.
Good tip.
Yeah.
And I have a tip for little kids.
Okay.
So if you want a kid that listens to you, you should stick to a routine.
Okay.
Because children, they don't like something that is not predictable.
Okay.
Everything has to be predictable.
Makes
So he or she has to know, oh, after I wake up, I will do this, do this.
Routine, right?
Routine. Every day, there's the same routine.
Yes.
And then,
That gives
just
them
try it.
Consistency.
Consistency
That's
and the secure feeling.
Yeah, that's nice. Kids only like surprises during birthdays and Christmas.
Exactly.
Other than that, no.